In Stockton, Susan Eggman voted to cut police department staffing. Homicide rate increase 195%.
The ad wastes no time making its first claim.
When we first started talking,
Susan Eggman voted to cut police department staffing in Stockton. Our political experts from Sacramento State say this claim, while true, is misleading.
Technically, yes, she was part of the city council that voted to reduce that, but so did the rest of the city council. And it wasn't after a lot of kind of failed negotiations with firefighter and police groups that they kind of came to this next step.
Professor Christina Flores Victor says there were a number of factors playing into Eggman's 2010 vote while serving on Stockton City Council. The 2008 recession had just hit, and Stockton was facing a $23 million budget crisis.
They had already cut all sorts of programs and services and funding, and so they were left with kind of the rest of the general fund budget. How do we then begin to reduce spending?
In the same sentence, the ad claims Stockton's homicide rate increased 195%. Professor Wesley Hussey says tacking the city's crime rate to one council member's vote on the budget is unfair.
Trying to tie someone to a vote for a budget and then saying the crime rate went up or bad many years ago, that just doesn't seem like that makes a lot of sense.
Our other expert says while the claim is technically true, the data is taken out of context.
The year she came into the city council was actually an anomaly as a low year for Stockton. So that's part of the explanation for the big increase.
According to crime data from the FBI, the ad compares the homicide rate from 2008, when Eggman was elected to Stockton City Council, with data from 2012, when she left to serve here in the California State Assembly. If you compare those 2 years, the homicide rate does increase 195%.
It's possible that funding cuts and staffing reductions didn't help to address that problem and maybe made it worse, but the trend was that it was already increasing from 2008, which I think most people would not find surprising.
Finally, the ad claims Eggman authored legislation to create, quote, heroin injection sites.
Places for addicts to shoot heroin in our neighborhoods.
Our experts agree this claim is true, but again, misleading.
Both of them only involve San Francisco, and Eggman is has a degree in social welfare, and so this is her background. And there's a big debate about whether or not this is a good idea or not.
I think that overall, it's a really fairly misleading ad.
Emily Maha, KCRA 3 News.
Homicide rate increase